This is a special presentation from News Channel Nebraska. This broadcast is presented by Currency. Does your business need financing for equipment, trucks, or trailers? Visit gocurrency.com. Faith Regional Health Services. When you need exemplary care, have faith. And by Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose. Find out more at libertyfirstcu.com.
Batting first and playing shortstop, Newman University, number 8, Haven Steenbaum. Batting second and playing center field, York University, number 6, Nick DeMonte. Batting third and playing right field, San Joaquin Delta College, number 16, Dylan Fuller. Batting fourth and playing second base from Northeast Community.
Welcome to J.J. Isaacson Field in Omaha, home of another edition of Corn Belt League Baseball on News Channel Nebraska. My name is Jake Bartecki. Seated to my right is Andy Klassen as we get ready for the Omaha Black Sox to take on the Omaha Filth Ballers. Welcome to J.J. Isaacson Field. As I said, my name is Jake Bartecki. He's Andy Klassen. Andy, in our first edition of Corn Belt League Baseball and NCN, we saw the Black Sox, and since then they have struggled. Just 1-5 under Vern Hasty.
Right.
The Omaha Filth Ballers, 5-4, not great either, just a game above 500, but it's two teams going in totally different directions. You've got the Black Sox, who've lost 3 in a row. On the other side, you've got the Filth Ballers. They've won a couple in a row.
Yeah, and a big part of that, when teams are struggling, you kind of look at your pitching staff, right? And how many strikes to balls, walks to strikeouts are they throwing? And that's where the Black Sox have had their struggles. Well, they might get some relief here tonight. A young man by the name of Cardiff Smith is going to be taking the mound, and he's going to be transferring over from the Royal Blue Dogs to try and help out that pitching staff for the Black Sox.
Our pregame show is brought to you in part by Columbus Motor Company, your Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram dealer, where you'll find one low price, plain and simple, always. We'll give you a look at the starting lineups of the pitching matchup right after this. Pregame festivities getting ready for some Summer League baseball on NCN.
The pregame show is sponsored by Columbus Motor Company, where you'll find one low price, plain and simple, always.
Whether we're talking commercial or residential plumbing, Lamel Plumbing is the place you call. Lamel provides 24-hour emergency service as well. Call them if you get in a tight spot. And as for their retail items, well, you got to check out some of their faucets, some of their kitchen items, and some of their bathroom items like their Onyx showers. And hey, say you've got a digging job, you call Lamel Plumbing for that too. They've added a full-time crew for you, doing backhoe, trenching, and sewer work. Take that digging job off your list and have Lamel do it for you. That's Lamel Plumbing in Beatrice, now at their new location on North 7th Street in Beatrice.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit gocurrency.com and apply today.
Welcome back to J.J. Isaacson Field. There you see a couple of the Filth Ballers warming up as they get ready to go to work here tonight. They will be the road team. The home team tonight is the Black Sox, so that means we will first see the Filth Ballers go to the plate. But we want to tell you a little bit about the starter for the Omaha Black Sox tonight. As Andy alluded to a couple of minutes ago, Cardiff Smith, 0-2 on the year with 3 1/3 innings of work. He has an 8.75 ERA. 2 strikeouts to 4 walks. Andy, he comes over here. You got to think maybe the change in teams.
Right.
Maybe it helps the Black Sox. Maybe it gets him out of this slump.
Yeah, you look at a couple of ways there. First off, the Black Sox and their pitching staff needed some more arms. They needed some relievers and starters here. And Vern Hasty, the head coach for the Omaha Black Sox, he's looking for answers, and he saw some talent and some opportunity here for Cardiff Smith to not only get some more innings, work on some of his skills that obviously the young man would like to work on himself, but the opportunity also presents itself with the Black Sox. And that's one of the cool things with a league like the Corn Belt League here. They're flexible. If one team could use an arm, another team could lose an arm, they have the flexibility to do that on the fly mid-season.
And he's got a couple variations of a fastball, this Carter Smith, a two-seamer, a four-seamer, a cutter, circle change, a slider, and a curve. So he's got a deep arsenal of pitches. The starting lineup for Jonathan Francisco's Filth Ballers, who, as I said, come in on a two-game winning streak, 5-4. At the top of the order, Julius Cortez, he'll play left field. At shortstop, Brendan Hillis, he'll bat second. Batting third is Carson Burnett, the designated hitter. Anthony Nino bats cleanup. He plays third base. Matt Rivers is first base and batting fifth. 6, 7, and 8. Catcher, extra hitter, and center fielder Cooper McCoy. Corey Bantam, Peyton Carson, 9 and 10. Cy Patterson at second base, and in right field, Lyndon Brueggemann. Going to the mound for them will be Quinn Zaborotsky, and we'll tell you more about the Beatrice native when he takes the mound. But right now, it's Julius Cortez against Cardiff Smith to get this one started. And it's a fastball high, 1-0.
Yeah, past two fastballs have stayed up in the zone on him here. He's getting behind all three of his last pitches, up in the zone. 3-0 here to start for Smith.
That's what we talked about with Cardiff Smith. 4 walks on the year in just 3 1/3, and he starts with a 4-pitch walk to kick off this one, and the leadoff man is aboard.
And I like his approach. He's not wasting any time. He's being very direct. But sometimes when you're firing ball after ball, maybe take a moment to yourself, take a little stroll around the mound, and get right. Now he's going to be pitching from the stretch.
Brendan Hillis comes in, 182 start to the year, 2 hits in 11 at-bats, and 11 trips to the plate. So he hasn't walked at all. His 1 extra base hit was an RBI triple a week ago. First pitch upstairs, 1-0.
Number 2, batting in the tool hole here from Iowa Community College.
And you're mentioning, Andy, I mean, along with the College World Series, just 2 games in college baseball getting televised tonight.
And they're both coming out of the city of Omaha.
The state of Nebraska, the city of Omaha. Check back over to first. Back in time is Cortez. Cortez, somewhat of a base-stealing threat. 4 on the year as this one's popped foul. So right there, the first strike thrown tonight by Cardiff Smith as it's fouled off by Hillis, 1-1.
And good location. You saw how it looked like that cutter you were talking about. It was cutting low and away from the hitter.
1 ball, 1 strike from Cardiff Smith.
There he goes.
Runner goes, and the throw down for the 5th time this season. Cortez has a stolen base. And with no one out, the runner in scoring position. But now the throw down to third, and he's out.
If he would have made that decision early on to take third base, he would have been safe by a mile. He waited too long. I don't know if he didn't see the overthrow or what, but by the time he got up on his horse and made the move to third, it was over. Center fielder made the play over. Nice throw to gun him down.
But it almost looked like he never turned his head to see a sign to go. So
Right.
some sort of miscommunication.
Yeah, I think I didn't see head coach Jonathan Francisco give him the wave either. I think he was happy with having a runner in second base after the steal, was successful. And you have a live batter with Brendan Hillis at the plate with no outs. You're in business in the top of the first. Now you're back to kind of square one here.
1-2 the count to Hillis. The pitch from Smith. This one driven high in the air towards left field and carrying towards the track. Takes a bounce before the warning track and rolls to the wall. And it's a stand-up double to deep left for Brendan Hillis.
And that's exactly what I was talking about. Hillis would have gathered at a ribby right there. Your leadoff man who just stole a base, Cortez, nice job stealing that base. And this is just a beautiful shot right to the gap.
Fastball ate up a lot of the plate, as you saw that on the Bank of the Valley and Beatrice Community Hospital Instant Replay, our sponsors for the replay this evening. But now you talked about it, Andy. This is a 1-0 game versus no score with already 1 out and a runner in scoring position. Obviously
Right.
still a good scenario to be in, but it could be much better. Nobody out, and most importantly, you're running the board.
You're exactly right.
First pitch to Carson Burnett, the designated hitter, off the plate for a ball, 1-0. Numbers on Burnett this season, red hot, 526, 10 hits, and 1 driven in. So he doesn't have a ton of RBIs, but he does put the ball in play.
And that's really what you're looking for here with the runner in scoring position on second base, only one out. Just lift something, elevate something to the outfield, move that runner over.
That's what he does here on a slider, but diving and having it bounce off his glove is DeMonte in center field. That'll only move Hillis up to third, and it puts Burnett on first. I don't know if that'll go down as an error or a base hit, Andy. I would think it's going to go down as a hit.
I would think a hit as well. DeMonte got a really good jump at this and nearly came in with the play. Look at this.
Good effort on it.
It really was. And that was good base running from Hillis. He took a couple steps off second base. Once he was clear, he got on his horse, got over to third.
It looks like it does get scored as a base hit. So now runners on the corners with one out. And it brings up Anthony Nino, the third baseman out of Allen County Community College.
I always like it when your cleanup batters average is above 300, and that's exactly what we have here with Nino batting 308.
Carter Smith tried to drop in a curveball, stayed outside, 1-0. Fastball stays up as well, and it's 2 balls, no strikes.
And we've had head coach Jonathan Francisco a number of times over the past couple of seasons. He likes to be aggressive, but right now, you already have one out on the base path. Do you want to risk it for another one?
Here's a hot shot down the third base line into left field. This is going to score 1. Francisco puts up the stop sign for Burnett at second base, but it's an RBI single down the left field line for Nino, and it's a 1-0 Filth Ballers lead with 1 out in the first.
Nino was sitting on that fastball, and boy, did he turn on it and ripping it down the third base line.
That's an RBI for Nino as he comes into this one. Not a ton of RBIs on the season, just 5, but he gets his 6th right there. So runners on first and second. First pitch to Matt Rivers off the plate for a ball, 1-0.
And your 5-hole hitter here in Rivers, batting just a hot bat right now, 357 average, 571 slugging percentage.
And 1 out of 3 players on this Filth Ballers roster from DMAC, as the DMAC product has to take a duck away from that one, but he's up 2-0.
And this is the count. This is conducive for hitters right here, 0-2.
Run across after Nino delivers his 6th RBI of the season on a hot shot down the third base line into left. It's a 1-0 lead for the Filth Ballers, who come in 5-4 to the 1-5 Omaha Black Sox. Long look at second. Burnett with a healthy lead, and the runner goes. Burnett heads down for third, and he is in there under the tag. He steals third, and it's runners on the corners. Also advancing to second is Nino. So the double play out of the equation as well, Andy Klassen.
Nino did a fabulous job reading the man in front of him on the base path, getting himself down to second base, and this is where Rivers wants to be in the 2-2 count. Oh, that was close.
Takes one outside, and it's 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Oh, and Carter Smith took a moment to look at the umpire there saying, you gotta be kidding me there.
Tough spot here. The 3-2 is upstairs, and that is ball 4, and it loads the bases for the catcher, Cooper McCoy.
Boy, and that was awfully close as well. Maybe a little high. I was kind of surprised, though, that Rivers wasn't protecting, especially in that spot. So we're going to see Vern Hasty come out to the mound here.
Gives us an opportunity to say tonight's game is brought to you in part by Currency. Currency makes financing quick, easy, and secure for machinery, ag equipment, and more. Visit gocurrency.com. So, Andy, obviously this is a tough situation for a pitcher to be in. You start with a walk. Obviously, you got gifted an out as well, as you were able to peg a runner who stole second going to third on an overthrow, but not an ideal start for Carter Smith at all. And we talked about it. Maybe switching teams was going to be a reset for him. Hasn't been the case so far.
Not yet, not so far. And Hasty wants to stick with the young man here, see if he can't help himself, get himself out of some trouble here. But it's about balls to strikes. That ratio, he's got to get more across the plate here.
And it brings up Cooper McCoy,
Once again, Smith having trouble with that location. Then those balls kind of wander off the plate. Gets behind once again.
2 balls, no strikes to McCoy. The catcher takes one high. Fastball makes it 3 balls and no strikes.
And this kind of scenario here with only 1 out, you know, a 3-0 count, you're usually told don't swing. I'm giving this batter the green light here with 2 guys in scoring position.
3-0 in there for a strike, but not by much. I think McCoy thought that was ball 4, but it does eat up enough on the inside part of the plate.
And it looked like McCoy had he wasn't going to swing.
3-1, chopped foul down the third base line, and the count from 3-0 to full. Second straight situation in terms of batters that Cardiff Smith has worked himself from 3-0 back to 3-2. We'll see if something comes in his favor here.
When you saw that from McCoy, a ground ball down third base line, if he could get a double play ball here in the infield.
3-2, this is a ground ball through the left side. 1 run is in. The stop sign put up by Jonathan Francisco at third, but an RBI single now for Cooper McCoy makes it 2-0.
And Smith got the pitch, he got the hit that he was looking for, got the ground ball. It was just able to work its way through the third baseman and shortstop, obviously playing in with the bases loaded.
So now you've got RBIs in the inning by Cooper McCoy and Anthony Nino. Hillis and Burnett score runs. Still just 1 out, still bases loaded for Corey Bantam, the extra hitter. Pops this one into foul territory. The third baseman, Gavin Novotny, there in foul ground for a big second out.
And you saw that late adjustment from Novotny. He had to kind of get back in closer to the field of play there to get over there and get it. That was a big out, that second out here, trying to get the Black Sox out of trouble.
And looks like we've got a pinch runner at first base. That is Blackhawk College's Eli Ellsbecker, who takes the spot of the catcher McCoy. First pitch to Peyton Larson is in there for a strike, 0-1.
Larson, a Concordia Bulldog. That's where he plays his college ball.
And his teammate, Quinn Zaborotsky, he will be on the mound. He's also a Bulldog.
All right. We always have the state of Nebraska well represented in the Corn Belt League.
1 ball, 1 strike. The count to Larson with the bases loaded. Skies this one in the air. This is pushing Fuller to his right. He's over and makes the catch for the third out. 2 runs come across in the top of the first for the Filth Ballers. They've got an early 2-0 lead. We'll head to the bottom of the first.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Currency. If your business needs help financing big-ticket items, visit gocurrency.com for details. And by Custom Sports. Represent your school and look good doing it with Custom Sports.
Woodhouse brings you the experts and insight to keep your vehicle road ready. From regular maintenance to larger issues, our team of service advisors and brand certified techs have the solutions to get you and your vehicle back on the road. Plus, you can enjoy convenience of scheduling online, amenities like pickup and delivery, and for quick fixes, comfortable lounges within our dealerships. Bringing you more every time since 1975. Service with Woodhouse.
After a top half of the first, it is a 2-0 lead for the Omaha Filth Ballers as they get ready to turn the baseball over to Quinn Zaborotsky. The Beatrice product won a state championship with the Orangemen back in 2021. And the hard-throwing righty Concordia product gets ready to go here tonight. 2-1 on the year, a 1.62 ERA. How about this stat, Andy Class? I know you'll love this. In 13 1/3 innings pitched, 12 Ks, just 2 walks.
That's exactly the type of ratio I'm looking for in my starting pitcher. And you mentioned his high school days. Isn't it kind of funny, those state championships, they usually produce a couple pitchers at the next level, and that's exactly what we have here in Quinn Zaborotsky.
And as he comes in, he will throw a variation of a fastball, a four-seamer, a two-seamer, a curveball, and a slider. Starting lineup for the Omaha Black Sox. At the top of the order, it is the shortstop Steenbach, followed by Nick DeMonte, the center fielder, batting second. Batting third, Dylan Fuller in right. The cleanup hitter is Dave Nettinger. He is going to be at second base this evening. Aaron Archer, the catcher. Novotny at third base. He bats sixth. 7, 8, and 9 left field DH first base. That's DeMauro, Luke Saxton, Jackson Yeager, and then Cody Heinriche is the extra hitter. Our first inning this evening is brought to you in part by USave Pharmacy, dedicated to the well-being of all of our customers. First pitch to Caden Steenbach is fouled off to the right, 0-1.
And you can just see how Zaborowski has a little bit more velocity on that fastball. It might have been a little bit of a cutter look to it.
The 0-1. This one fouled off the knob of the bat, but they're going to say that's a hit by pitch, and both teams put the leadoff man aboard here. It was a walk for the Filth Ballers, a hit by pitch here for the Black Sox.
Not exactly how your starting pitchers ever want to start a game, getting that first guy on base with the free pass. And, ooh, boy, he's lucky he didn't get that one on the funny bone, just above it, above that elbow area there. He's still going to feel it in the morning.
Just the second batter all year Zaborowski has hit, and it puts Steenbach on base for Nick DeMonte. One on, no one out in a 2-0 ball game. DeMonte takes a fastball high, 1-0.
DeMonte, a compact guy, speedster out there. Saw him almost pull off a spectacular play in center field.
DeMonte batting .385. 4 stolen bases, that's a team high. He's walked 4 times. Hasn't knocked anybody in this year, but he does have 5 hits, including a double. 1-1 the count.
Ouch.
There goes, and
Oh, no.
this one got him up high. DeMonte turns away. Looks like he's okay, but that got him in the face area, Andy Klassen.
I think it ricocheted off of his arm and might have got him around the cheek, chin area. Going to take a moment and take a long walk.
Well, he showed bunt. And there you
Ooh,
see
he
it.
got it right on the cheek there. Yeah, they're looking to execute a bunt and run, trying to get work the player over to second base, the leadoff batter over to second base. So DeMonte squared around for that bunt and just high and inside, and that's a terrible feeling as a batter when you turn into that bunt and that fastball's coming right up at you.
And it's also a tough feeling for a pitcher as
Oh,
well,
yeah.
because obviously you don't want to hurt the opposing team, but also 2 hit by pitches to start the game. Quinn Zaborowski is not going to like that.
No, he's not, and he's working the left side of the plate here, our left side of the plate. Maybe it's a blessing in disguise. He finally gets to face a left-handed batter here.
Yeah, the lefty batter is Dylan Fuller out of San Joaquin Delta. Plays right field this evening and comes in batting .357, one of the higher percentages on the team as he skies this one to the left, dancing with it in the sun. Nino makes the catch in foul ground.
You mentioned the sun. It is starting to set. Beautiful 87 degrees, partly cloudy at first pitch. But now you're starting to see some of those shadows be casted across the infield just a little bit from the backstop cages.
And hardly any wind. I mean, you see the flag out in center field. 410 to straightaway center. That flag is dead still. First pitch, a fastball past Dave Nettinger out of Northeast Community College. Nettinger on the year, .364, another one of the higher percentages. .364 with 2 driven in. His only extra base hit is a double. He leads the team in strikeouts, however, with 6, and he's quickly down 0-2.
Fantastic couple of pitches right there from Zaborowski. Low fastball got in on Nettinger. Not sure if he was ready for it. Then he worked the outer half of the plate away from him and a little behind with the swing.
0-2 the count. Runners on first and second, both aboard via hit by pitches.
Oh.
0-2 low, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And it looked like it started kind of inside, didn't it? I'm thinking, oh no.
I bet you Mediger was thinking the same thing.
Don't hit another right-handed batter here.
Zaborowski, the 1-2. Check swing, but it's off the plate, says the home plate umpire, and we're even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That was a heck of a job by Dane Mediger laying off that one. He was looking for what he got, but his eye told him it was off the plate.
Zaborowski's gone fastball, fastball, stays with the fastball here and misses low, and it's 3-2. So what are you throwing here, Andy? You've thrown 3 consecutive fastballs. One's been fouled off. A couple have been taken inside, outside. What do you go to?
Well, if I have faith in my slider right now, I might go to that.
A 3-2. It is another fastball, and he blows it by Dane Mediger, and it's the first strikeout of the evening for Quinn Zaborowski, and his 13th of the year for out number 2. So back-to-back hit by pitches, then a nice lazy pop-up and a strikeout. Nice bounce back.
It really is a nice bounce back, and the location was the key with that because he was going low and away, fastball, fastball. Then he gave one to the batter upstairs and a little in, just couldn't catch up to that high cheese.
So 2 down after the pop-up and the strikeout, and it brings up Aaron Archer, the catcher. First pitch in there for a strike, 0-1.
A little bit behind it, Zaborowski's velocity, we already talked about it. And he also doesn't waste any time or motion up on the mound. Very deliberate.
Working quickly. Would have no worries of a pitch clock with these 2 pitchers that we've seen so far tonight. Double glance to second, and he hits a third batter. My Lord.
And there's no doubt about that one.
So that loads the bases, and all 3 batters on the base paths, first, second, and third, all hit by pitches, and they've all been right-handed batters, all in the same area.
I know, and Novotny takes, number 6 hole batter here, Dylan Novotny, steps into the batter's box from that right side. I'm sure his boys are hollering at him, take one for the team.
Drive in a run, cut this deficit in half. First pitch here, he swings at the pitch, and it's lined through the left side of the infield. 1 run is across. Vern Hasty throws up the stop sign, but the job is done by Dylan Novotny. Drives in a run, cuts the deficit in half, and it's a 2-1 ball game.
Just a fantastic job by Novotny, understanding the situation, understanding that Zaborowski was probably going to throw a fastball. He's been throwing a lot of fastballs lately here, and then he might take a little bit off it because he wanted to get a strike rather than hit another batter. Novotny jumped all over it, pulled it between the third baseman and shortstop. Good for an RBI.
And he swung at the first pitch fastball and keeps the bases loaded here for Dominic DeMauro out of York. And the first pitch inside to the lefty, 1-0. Bases loaded with 2 outs for DeMauro. And that one outside as well. DeMauro, 167 on the year.
Looking to work on his average a little bit, and we're going to have Hillis. He wants to go talk to his pitcher here. He'd made a heck of a play going down to his right-hand side to keep that ball from hitting the dirt, and a pass ball type of opportunity for a free pass for the Black Sox to tally another run here.
DeMauro's been pretty solid to this point in the season with runners in scoring position. Batting .500, it's a small sample size, but he's 2 for 4 in that category, and he takes a strike, and it's 2-1.
Oh, and I really like that location right there from Zaborowski. I mean, that was right on the left-hand side, away from the batter. Painted the corner.
2-1. Chopper hit towards third. Nino will step on the bag, get the force out to end the inning, but not before the RBI single by Dylan Novotny, 2 outs. And he gets 1 on the board, and it's a 2-1 ball game after 1. We'll head to the second on NCN.
Landmark Implement is your local authorized John Deere dealer. Landmark's trained and certified sales staff will help you find the right equipment for your needs, all backed by Landmark's extensive parts and service network. Whether it's a tractor, planter, combine, lawn and garden tractor, or gator, every piece of equipment in our inventory is ready to work hard for your operation. Landmark's team works together to make sure everything that is sold meets their quality standards. Stop by your local Landmark implement or learn more at landmarkimp.com to experience the Landmark difference.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful.
I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman. I love it.
Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
We're definitely coming back in the future.
We have a wedding band to buy. So.
We do, yes. We have wedding bands. We'll be back for that.
Starter Heyman Jewelers, downtown 12th and O, South Point Pavilions, and Grand Island.
So both teams leave the bases loaded in their half of the first inning, but both get on the board. It's 2-1 Filth Ballers after 1 inning of work as we get ready to see Cardiff Smith take the mound again for the Black Sox. 9, 10, and 1 due up for the Filth Ballers. That's Cy Patterson, Lyndon Brueggemann, and Julius Cortez. His name is Andy Klassen. My name is Jake Bartecki. 87 degrees, not a cloud in the sky, and the diamond in really nice condition this evening.
It really is. Just a fantastic look to J.J. Isaacson Field. 87 degrees at first pitch. I mean, that's summer baseball weather. Picture perfect here in Omaha this evening.
Cardiff Smith, the righty, leans in to get the call from his catcher, Aaron Archer, and the first pitch, a fastball and a swinging strike to the second baseman, Cy Patterson.
And you mentioned how both teams leave the bases loaded. You got to think head coach Francisco for the Filth Ballers and head coach Hasty for the Black Sox kind of kicking himself a little bit, saying, guys, we left some opportunity out there in that first inning.
Patterson gave that one a drive to left field. That had home run distance, but just hooking a little bit foul. But it shows just 325 down the line to the poles in right and left here, Andy. 410 to straightaway center. If somebody can get a charge of one here,
yeah,
even with a wood bat, they can get it up.
Oh, yeah, that cleared the fence. As you mentioned, it was just cut and foul there. Got to straighten one out here, does Patterson.
1 ball, 2 strikes after the curveball drifts away from Cardiff Smith. Again, the pitches for Smith, a couple of fastballs, and he does have a curve, circle, change, and slider. This one chopped over the head of Smith at the mound. Mediger makes the throw to Jackson Yeager for the first out.
Yeah, and I don't know if he was completely ready for that or a little bit behind, but that definitely looked like a 2-strike type of a swing there, just kind of protecting. Puts the ball in play, but a little chopper to the second baseman. Mediger made short work of it.
So Brueggemann comes to the plate. He's wearing a new number for the first time tonight. He switched to number 11, good old double ones. First pitch to Brueggemann in the 11. The lefty batter takes a strike. It's 0-1.
2 number 1s. That doesn't make sense. That's number 11.
That is number 11. That's what he's wearing. Number 11 pops this one up on the left side of the infield. Novotny is there for out number 2.
And see, this is the things that can happen for you as a pitcher. Cardiff Smith throwing strikes, using his defense. Easy pop-up and a ground out before that. Good things happen when you work the zone.
And back to the top of the order we go with Julius Cortez. Got on base with a 4-pitch walk, still second, and then got thrown out trying to go for third as this one just drifts away foul on Jackson Yeager, and it's strike 1.
A good job by Cardiff Smith covering first base there. Had it stayed in play, Yeager did stop the ball. It would have been out, but bounced just foul.
But back to Yeager. Tried to extend going to third after stealing second, ran through a sign that wasn't even there, and got thrown out from center field by Nick DeMonte. This one grounded back towards first. This one's in play, however. Yeager flips on to Cardiff Smith covering, and 1-2-3 go the Filth Ballers in the second. Saxton, Yeager, and Heidrich due up for the Omaha Black Sox in their half of the second inning. That's where we're going to head right now on NCN.
Experience what banking local feels like. Bank of the Valley is owned and managed by the people within our community. This means our decisions are made right here by people who care about you and the communities we serve. Knowing our customers personally helps our experienced team provide the best solutions as your banking needs and goals change. Stop into our newest branch in Schuyler, Nebraska, or visit any of our other bank locations in person or online. Bank of the Valley. Together, we go further.
We feel it at the grocery store, when we pay our cable bill, or purchase our favorite coffee. Costs are on the rise. That's not true with electricity. For the past 10 years, customers in communities served by Nebraska Public Power District have enjoyed no annual overall rate increases. So, considering how electricity powers our everyday, it remains a great value. Nebraska Public Power District, always there when you need us.
Filth Ballers go 1-2-3 in their half of the second inning. Black Sox coming to bat. Once again, that is Luke Saxton, Jackson Yeager, and Cody Heidrich. Ellsworth Community College, McCook Community College, and Nebraska Wesleyan, DH first base, and extra hitter. All to face Quinn Zaborowski here for the second time. Hit 3 batters in the first inning. We'll see how he settles down. Cardiff Smith did. We'll see if it translates over to Zaborowski, and that's a nice fastball for a strike past Saxton.
Man, that's live. Looked like it has a little bit of movement on the tail end of it there.
A 1 the count. Goes back to that same pitch here. Did he go? He did not. And the count 1-1.
Hillis had a hard time corralling that fastball. It actually popped out of his glove, and maybe to kind of throw a little attention off himself, wanted to point at the first baseline there, seeing if he went around on the check.
1-1 count to Luke Saxton is lifted foul down the first base line, out of play, 1-2. Saxton still looking for his first hit of the season. He is 0 for 4 in 6 trips to the plate. He's got a couple of walks and a couple of strikeouts. Infield plays behind the bag and up the middle. In the middle of the infield as this one's fouled off the wood backstop, 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Saxton. Andy, we saw the translation from the first inning to the second inning by Carter Smith. Zaborowski didn't have a great inning either. How does he turn it around?
Well, he's doing the same thing. He's throwing strikes, pounding the zone. I thought that was strike 3 right there. Saxton did a heck of a job fouling the previous pitch off, just staying alive, extending this at bat. But Zaborowski is really pounding the strike zone thus far.
He's looking for his second strikeout, the 2-2, and there it is. Yep. The ball was dropped by McCoy behind the plate, but he applies the tag. First strikeout looking, second of the ball game for Zaborowski, and there is 1 gone. The second inning is brought to you in part by Faith Regional Physician Services. When hard work hits you hard, have faith. To the 9-hole hitter we go. Jackson Yeager, the first baseman out of McCook Community College. First pitch to him here, swinging strike. Another one of those cutter-type fastballs, Andy Klassen, and he swings through it.
Yeah, and he made a fantastic play defensively to get out of that inning. Had to come to his right and turn around and kind of hurry up his throw, but also make it a soft enough throw for his pitcher, Smith, to cover and make the tag to the base.
No balls, 2 strikes as he swings through the first 2 pitches, does Yeager. And now Zaborowski looking to find his rhythm here with his 3rd strikeout and make it back-to-back. The 0-2, not going to happen there, ball in the dirt.
Man, that late movement on that cutter, that fastball, Hillis is having a tough time with it thus far, corralling it and keeping it in the mitt.
And Yeager coming into this one, batting .260. See if he can get that average up over 300 tonight. He'd love to do that with a couple of hits. This one dribbles down the first base line and drifts foul, so we'll do it again on ball and 2 strikes.
Looked like a little bit of a changeup there. May have confused Jackson Yeager. Still got a piece of it, though. Stayed alive.
Yeah, Yeager with 2 RBIs on the year. He's walked 3 times. 3rd on the team in base on balls, and he's down 1-2. Zaborowski here, that one stays upstairs, and we're even at 2.
Yeah, and with that changeup, it's staying a little elevated right now for Quinn Zaborowski. He's going to have to bring that down.
The 2-2. Off the plate as Cutter drifts away, and we're full.
I still like that line, the trajectory of that fastball. It's short, it's compact, and it goes across the plate.
He's got a strikeout with that pitch already tonight. The full count pitch, lifted foul. Moving over to foul territory is Rivers, but he has no play, and count remains full.
And that, thus far, has been the strongest pitch for Quinn Zabrowski. That heater, that fastball that's right down the pipe. Yeager did a really nice job fouling that one off.
Again on 3-2. This one ripped down the third base line, but foul. And for the third straight time, we'll have a 3-2 full count pitch from Zabrowski to Jackson Yeager.
Last time he followed up his fastball with a changeup. Is he going to go back to the fastball here?
Full count. This one drifts away. That's ball 4. And with one out after the strikeout, Yeager is put aboard. And there's one on.
You got to be impressed with that at bat from Yeager. I mean, he had to foul off a couple very difficult pitches to stay alive. He did so, pulled a changeup, ended up earning himself on base through the walk.
So Cody Heidenreich will look to try and continue this inning here. The Nebraska Wesleyan product serving as the 10th hitter, the extra hitter. He takes a ball upstairs. And Andy, last week, neither team took advantage of the extra hitter. They all went with 9.
Once again, it's one of the nice things here with the Corn Belt League. There's a flexibility to it. If you have a couple extra sticks, a couple batters on your team that need to get some ABs, some at-bats in, you got the freedom to do so. If you really like your starting 9 and your pitcher likes to bat as well, he's a two-way player, go ahead and do that as well. You're not going to be penalized.
Cody Bantam, the extra hitter for the Filth Ballers. It's Heidenreich this evening for the Black Sox. And now it's 2-1 to Heidenreich.
I kind of like the idea of using that extra batter. You know, it keeps more players plugged in, involved in the game.
2-1, drifting away from Zabrowski, and it's 3-1. So the cutter now is not having as much control as it was to start the inning.
No, it's just falling off the right side of the plate a little too consistently here for Zabrowski.
See if he can get that back. We'll see if he sticks with that pitch. He's thrown probably 2/3 of his pitches tonight with that. This could be 2. On to second for 1. Over to first. Rivers is there to make the catch. And it's a 6-4-3 double play to end the inning. Yeager walks with 1 out, but he's caught up in the double play. And we'll head to the third. 2-1 Filth Ballers here in Omaha.
NCN Sports is sponsored by Husker Rehab, treating the cause of the pain, not just the symptoms. Columbus Motor Company, where you'll find one low price, plain and simple, always. And by Claybaugh Pharmacy, your locally owned hometown pharmacy.
Your investment and your peace of mind. With the John Henry's Membership Club, you'll get treated like family. We make you a priority and ensure comfort, safety, and savings. With our Heating and Cooling Membership Club, you'll find comfort knowing your system is doing its job properly. You'll get priority service plus exclusive discounts, 24-hour guaranteed service, and so much more. We also offer dryer vent clearing plans and annual humidifier services. How's that for peace of mind? John Henry's, our family serving yours since 1996.
Welcome back to J.J. Isaacson Field. Here's another look at that 6-4-3 double play to end the inning. Couldn't draw it up any better for Zabrowski.
No, you really couldn't. Pitcher's best friend, the double play. And how about the churn there? Just a laser coming from second base to first to get him out of the jam, out of the inning.
2, 3, and 4 due up for the Filth Ballers here. That's Hillis, Burnett, and Nino. All 3 reached base, all got hits in the first inning. Nino was one of them that drove in the RBI, and he scored Brendan Hillis on that knock, who comes to the plate 1 for 1 with a double down deep into the left field corner, and it's 0-1.
Yeah, he couldn't have placed that one any better in the gap.
This one popped up, big gap towards right center, but he hits it unfortunately right to DeMonte. DeMonte comes in a few steps and puts it away for the first out of the inning, a fly out to center field. So brings up Carson Burnett. He singled, and with a big burst of speed was able to get from second to third. Don't see that too often in this day and age, especially when you have runners on base, but he did it with runners on first and second.
Yeah, just good base running awareness there for the Filth Ballers early on. You know, head coach Francisco likes to be aggressive, and we might have something here.
And this one's hit deep towards the right field corner. Long run for Fuller in right, but he's there to make the catch, and quickly there's two gone.
Boy, you said it. Fuller had to, and how about that stash? My goodness.
A summer stash. You can't beat it.
That's above par right there, I'll tell you what.
I can't grow one, but I just can't grow, I can't grow any facial hair in general, so I just, the minute I see any, I have to shave.
That one just hung up a little too much, though, for the stash.
It hung up a little too much.
Yes,
Good
it did.
placement, though.
It was.
So with 2 outs, Anthony Nino comes on. He's got one of the 2 RBIs on the evening. He singled to left to score Brendan Hillis from second. And he takes a first pitch ball, and that one inside as well, and it's now 2 balls and no strikes. 2-0, 2 outs. Cardiff Smith, after a rough first inning, went 1-2-3 in the second, looking to do the same thing in the third here. But that one outside, and it's 3-0. 3 balls, no strikes, the count, as the wind and deal from Smith is in there. Taking all the way is Nino. Tune in to NCN for the Huskers Coaches Show, brought to you by United Healthcare. 3 balls, 1 strike. The kick and deal upstairs, and that's ball 4. So after the first 2 are set out quickly on flyouts, Nino able to get aboard here, and he draws the 3rd walk issued by Cardiff Smith.
Yeah, see, and Smith really found something there in the second inning, using his defense. In the first part of the 3rd inning there, using his defense, ground out, pop up. But when you can't locate and get in the zone, your defense can't help you. That's what you just saw there with that walk.
And Matt Rivers comes up. He was part of that 6-4-3 inning-ending double play, and he charges one to left here. Tomorrow gives it a look, and it just gets fouled. That was right on the line.
That would have been extra bases, and it would have had a chance for an RBI, no doubt. Big kid.
0-1 the count. Matt Rivers, one of several players on this Filth Ballers roster out of DMAC. So he gets an opportunity to play with some of his teammates in the summer, continue building that camaraderie as he pops one up. Long run in for Nick DeMonte, and he lost it. So getting all the way to third, running on contact with 2 outs is Nino. So now it's runners on the corners with 2 outs.
Yeah, and that's where DeMonte had to cover a lot of ground, and sometimes your infield can get out there and kind of help you with it. You're seeing the communication. Everyone's pointing up, pointing up. DeMonte just had a heck of a run and kind of overran it at the end.
And that one goes down as a base hit as well. So a couple of near errors by DeMonte in center field. You go back to the first inning, and he had that one bounce off his glove, trying to make a diving effort at it. Now that one puts runners on the corners.
Yeah, and I think the infield thought that was going to drift a little bit more into center field, and DeMonte really had to get a move on to get over there and try to make a play.
Cooper McCoy picked up an RBI in his first trip to the plate. He comes up for the second time. He singled to left and was able to drive in Carson Burnett. First pitch outside, and it's 1-0. McCoy out of Lyon. Runners on the corners here. 1-0. That one drifts away, and it's 2 balls, no strikes.
You still got to feel like, if you're Carter Smith, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to generate pop-ups. I'm trying to, get ground balls, and that's what he's been able to do.
2-0 runner goes, and getting over to second base is Rivers, but up with a throw. Archer throws over to shortstop there. I wonder if that was an effort to hold everybody where they were.
Yeah, a little bit of a cutoff play there, trying to catch the man on third base there, number 34, Nino, cheating a little bit.
He didn't bite on it. 2-1 low, and it's now 3 balls and a strike. Again, McCoy 1 for 1. The catcher a single to left that drove in a run in the first. This one chopped foul. Skips over the line, heading towards the third base bag, and it's full.
Smith doing a really nice job battling back in this at bat, filling up the count.
2-1 Filth Ballers. A base hit could make this a 3-run game. There's a big gap right up the middle and into right center. Pitch to McCoy. Fouls off another. This one lifted back behind home plate.
See, that had a little bit of movement on it, but it was right down the pipe. I'm Cardiff Smith. I'm thinking maybe I need to go back to that because it has to be a strike here with this count filled up.
3-2. This one again lifted foul behind home plate.
Good location.
This will be the 10th pitch of the at-bat coming. You got to think the pitch count high for Carter Smith, or at least higher than Vern Hasty would like.
This early in the game, no doubt, but McCoy doing a really nice job battling from the right side of the plate.
The 3-2.
Oh, that was
one
there.
Is upstairs. Cardiff Smith began to walk towards the dugout, but the home plate umpire says, hold your horses. That's ball 4 after a lengthy at-bat. McCoy gets on base, loads him up for Corey Bantam.
I think Smith might have a little bit of a case there. Still don't like to see, players talk back and forth with the officials, but that was high in the zone, right by those letters, the Filth Ballers there.
So Corey Bantam comes in, and the pitch lifted foul as he swings at a first pitch fastball.
Still just kind of surprised with some of these walks that we've seen for the Filth Ballers where they'll have 2 strikes on them, and they'll allow that ball to go right, across their chest, across the numbers. As a hitter, I'm always thinking, man, I got to protect. I don't want to leave it up to the umpire here to punch me out.
And Bantam popped up into foul territory as the second out of the first inning lifts this one foul as well, and it's 0-2.
And we've had so many foul balls here. I think we're looking for a game ball.
Yeah.
From one of the dugouts.
Well, it gives us an opportunity to say that one of the presenting sponsors of tonight's game is Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose. You can find out more at libertyfirstcu.com. 0-2 the count to Corey Bantam, who's batting .400. He has the best overall average on this Filth Ballers squad. And in his last 2 games, he's gone 6 for 8. The 0-2. Outside and stays up 1-2. So how much with 2 outs? Obviously, Carter Smith wants to get out of the inning. He's just 1 swing or now 1 pitch away from that. But you also don't want to give a player who's as hot as Bantam something to hit.
Yeah, a guy that's batting north of 400 currently. You got to be careful here. Maybe pitch around him.
1-2 is driven into the gap in left center, and that's the risk that can happen. That's down for a base hit. Bantam is heading for second. 2-run score, and it's now a 4-1 Filth Ballers lead.
Just an excellent at-bat, taking the first pitch, getting dialed in, and then not trying to overpower it and pull it to the right side, to the right field, just going with it to the left. Good for a stand-up double, a couple ribbies as well.
Runners on second and third now as it's a 2 RBI double for Corey Bantam, the extra hitter. And it brings up Peyton Larson, and that will end the inning. Quick third out right there, but not before the 2 RBI double to left center scores a pair, and the Filth Ballers take their largest lead of the night. They're up 3-4-1. We'll head to the bottom of the third on NCN.
So this yellow jacket, it basically symbolizes that it's showtime.
The Yellow Jackets are a throwback to Monday Night Football.
The 1970s, Keith Jackson, Howard Cosell.
That was the big broadcast in the country. Now we're the big broadcast in Nebraska.
When News Channel Nebraska is covering a game, we want you to know that we take it seriously. We want to dress sharp. We have pride in what we do.
And we're going to wear those yellow jackets to show people that we're a little old school, but we're also the important broadcast of the night.
No matter what your age, skill level, or position, your baseball season begins at the Strike Zone. Featuring state-of-the-art batting cages, group and private instruction, the Strike Zone provides athletes all the training and equipment you need to get your game to the next level. Give the gift of development to your baseball or softball player. Purchase your Strike Zone gift cards today. Baseball never ends at the strike zone.
J.J. Isaacson Field is the site as we get ready for the bottom of the third inning. Back to the top of the order for Verd Hasty's Omaha Black Sox. Caven Steenbach, Nick DeMonte, and Dylan Fuller all due up here in the bottom of the third after another two-run inning put up by the Filth Ballers. They got a 4-1 lead here. Offense has got to get going here against Quinn Zabarsky.
And there could have been a little bit more damage, but how about Dylan Novotny playing in the hot corner, third base there, got a hot one, spun around, and then the hose zips it across the infield for the out. Nice
First
work with the
pitch
leather.
In there for a strike to Steenbach, who no official at-bats for him so far. He was hit by a pitch and then came around to score. It's the only run of the ball game for the Black Sox. Takes one, or swings at one, I should say, outside the zone, and it's 0-2.
That's where Zabarsky, he can go to his slider, go to his changeup. Tries to work the outside portion of the plate, but well off in that last pitch.
1-2 strikes. 4 runs on 6 hits, no errors for the Filth Ballers. A run on a hit for the Black Sox. This one's grounded towards second. Patterson gathers it up, throws on to first, and that is out number 1.
Boy, and Patterson made a heck of a churn that last inning to finish off that double play. I mean, it was in his mitt and out in a hurry and on a line to first base, which it had to be because it was hit so deep to the 6 hole to the shortstop.
That brings up Nick DeMonte. Guess what he did in the first inning, Andy?
Got hit.
He was hit by a pitch. He was the second batter to be hit by a pitch in as many trips to the plate.
Yeah, DeMonte's kind of been beat up here. He dove at a ball, he was coming in at, charging real hard at center field, then he got hit shortly thereafter.
A lot of hard contact so far in the
Right.
ball game, and not necessarily with the bat, because on the second pitch of the at-bat back in the first, that's when he got drilled.
DeMonte might have to find his way over to the strike zone, get in that ice bath,
Yeah.
do a little rehab after this one.
1-1. This one hit pretty hard down the left field line, but out of play, and it's 1-2. Andy, you just mentioned the strike zone. That is, as a matter of fact, our third inning sponsor. As the third inning is brought to you by Strike Zone. Train here, compete anywhere.
And it's also another one of the perks that every single player of the Corn Belt League kind of gets to have here, an indoor training facility they can use at any time during the week. So if it's raining out, it's too hot out, they want to get some working in a cage, the Strike Zone is always available for them.
Couple fouled off, stays at 1-2. And there's a look at Nick DeMonte, rocking a pink bat. How about that?
Hey.
Lays off a pitch that drifts away, and it's 2 balls, 2 strikes. The 2-2.
Ooh.
Fooled him, and that's strike 3. DeMonte was way behind the off-speed pitch, sitting fastball, and it's strike 3 and the third strikeout of the ball game for Zabrowski.
Yeah, Quinn's got to feel pretty good about this one. Perfectly executed pitch. You saw the hesitation in the swing there. Good for another strikeout.
Third K of the ball game for Zabrowski, and there's now 2 gone here in the third inning. This one hit towards left field. Cortez lost it, got turned around. This is down for extra bases. To the wall is Cortez. To second base standing is Dylan Fuller. His first two base hit of the season, and it's a stand-up double.
Really nice at bat here. Looking at that first pitch fastball, Fuller was still a little bit behind it, but since it was kind of fading to the left there, you saw a left fielder take a tough line on it and actually got turned around for the easy stand-up double for Dylan Fuller. Came up to the plate swinging.
So 2 outs, and now a runner on second safely for Dane Mediger. He struck out. Was the first strikeout victim of 3 for our starter Zabrowski tonight. The pitch.
Across the plate, but just a little elevated, a little high, and that's really all you can ask for the umpires. They're consistent with that. They're not being very generous with that high fastball being tallied as a strike.
1 ball, no strikes, the count. This one in the dirt, and it's 2-0.
And now the Northeast Community College young man that plays his ball up in Norfolk right now, Dane Menninger, he can be selective up in the count, as you mentioned, 2-0.
Base hit here would get one of those runs back that the Black Sox surrendered in the top of the third as this one drifts away on Zabrowski again, and it's 3 balls, no strikes.
3-0 count. You're usually looking at taking a pitch, but with 2 outs, if you get something you like, you may have the green light here.
Couple of looks to second. The 3-0 taking all the way is Menninger, and it's 3-1.
And that's a really good comeback pitch there. Fastball looked like Zabrowski might have took a little bit off of it, but ensured that it was going to be a strike.
3-1. That's in there for a strike as Zabrowski drops in a circle changeup, and it's now 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Doesn't take long, does it, for an at-bat to completely change its complexion. Full count, payoff pitch on the way.
Let's see if Zabrowski can work his way out of the small jam. This one is over the head of the first baseman, Rivers, and into right field. Stop sign put up by Vern Hasty at third, so it's a base hit, but the run is held at third base. Runners on the corners.
Yeah, and that was cleanly fielded there by Brueggemann. Linda doing a really nice job getting on the one hop here, clean with the mitt. And that's showing a little bit of respect to the gun of the right fielder. And that's where, most teams put their best arm in the field is on that right field line for that throw right there.
So 2 of the 3 hits surrendered by Zabrowski tonight have come in the last 2 batters, a double by Dylan Fuller and a single by Dane Nettinger. And it brings up the catcher, Aaron Archer. He was one of 3 batters hit by a pitch. This one bounces off McCoy's right foot, and jogging in to score from third base is Fuller, and jogging his way into second is Dane Nettinger, and on the wild pitch, a run scores.
I mentioned that earlier in the game, how Hillis is having trouble with that cutter when it gets into the dirt, having a tough time corralling the ball, keeping it in front. That time it cost the old Filth ballers.
So now a 4-2 ball game as Archer ahead 1-0 in the count here with a runner on second. Zabrowski delivers, foul off on a low pitch for Archer, and it's 1-1.
And another thing to note here, Jake, all these hits have been coming opposite field. So Zaborski's given up a couple of hits. They're getting sprayed out there, but he's ahead of the batters with that fastball, with that slider thus far.
One the count. Runner on second. Pitch is inside, 2-1. Archer tried to sell that a little bit.
Yeah.
And it worked because he backed off and it was outside, but I think he was definitely hoping for a ball call there, and he did.
I think he was.
So the runner on second is Dane Nettinger. He's on with a single. All of this coming with 2 outs as well, as that's now going to make the count 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, that's just one of the facets of the game. Baseball, hardball. There's no shot clock. There's no game clock. It's all about recording those outs, and you don't know when things are going to happen. 1 out, 2 outs.
Archer is a pitch away from getting that 3rd out to continue that 1-2 count Andy just had, but a look back to second and back in time is Nettinger.
Yeah, not a bad idea there. You got a total pitchers count here, 2-2-2. If you're not completely comfortable, go ahead and back off. Regroup.
2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. A jam allows 1 run for the Omaha Black Sox, and they get back within 2. And Zabrowski is able to limit the damage from that point. We'll head to the 4th. It's a 4-2 ball game on NCN.
That is literally the funniest thing ever.
And then I said,
it wasn't. but this guy could use a win. Even if it's not as big of a win as I get with free Kasasa Cash checking. Kasasa Cash pays me a really high rate and refunds ATM withdrawal fees nationwide. So I feel like a queen. Has a mega bank ever made you feel that way? Or is it more like this guy? Take back banking with Kasasa Cash.
Get Kasasa checking at Liberty First Credit Union.
Driving by on the highway, you'd never guess what this store holds. When you walk in, rest assured this small-town vet supply store has big city selection. There's a good chance if what you're looking for isn't in the back, they can order it for you. Luckily, you'll get the small-town friendly service and knowledgeable sales staff every step of the way. From vaccine help to renting a tux for your son's wedding. See the staff at Valley Vet Supply on Highway 36 in Marysville.
Valley Vet Supply.
Welcome back to J.J. Isaacson Field. Beautiful night. You can see the sun just barely starting to think about setting here in Omaha. But 9, 10, and 1 due up for the Filth Ballers, who lead this one 4-2. Cy Patterson, the second baseman, Lyndon Brueggemann, the right fielder, and Julius Cortez, the leadoff hitter and left fielder, due up.
Yeah,
for
and
the Filth Ballers.
now you're starting to see those big shadows cast across the infield there. Could cause a little bit of problems for those infields picking up the ball in the sunlight, out of the sunlight, and also home plate is also in the shadows right now due to those trees that we saw on the west side of beautiful Seymour Smith Park. I'll tell you another thing here, Jake. Mr. Smith, the pitcher here, has got to feel pretty good that he's still in this game, the way this game started for him. Really settled down, started pounding the zone.
Well, and it goes that way, I think, for both pitchers, because
Yeah.
Zabrowski hit 3 batters in the first inning.
Yeah, that was a rough start outing as well. Both pitchers doing a fine job, though, getting themselves straightened out and back into it.
First pitch, a swing and a strike for Cy Patterson, the 0-1. That one is a curveball that Carter Smith tries to drop in there, but it stays up, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. One gets past Archer behind home plate, so it's 2-1. Bases clear, so no damage done. It's just a ball, and it's 2 balls and a strike. Smith's 2-1 is in there for a strike, and we're even at 2.
Yeah, being very patient right now behind at the plate is Patterson. That time kind of shaking his head thinking maybe I should have lifted the bat off the shoulder on that one.
2-2, a swing and a foul off. Just getting a piece of it is Cy Patterson, so we'll do it again on the even 2-2.
I think
what
he
do you
just
throw
got,
here?
Yeah, I think he just got a little content there, watching a little too much. He got his pitch 2 pitches ago and let it go.
The 2-2, and now joining the party of pitchers hitting batters is Cardiff Smith as he drills Cy Patterson in the backside there, and that is a leadoff hit by pitch, man aboard. There
Boy,
you see it.
There is no doubt about that one, right in the middle of the back, and you saw Patterson just stand there and take it, get himself on base, and we're going to have another visit to the mound here from Coach Hasty.
Yeah, Vern Hasty wasting no time getting to the mound. So both pitchers have had their moments of turning things around, but they both also had moments of having some struggles, and that is evident right here to Vern Hasty as the day appears to be done for Cardiff Smith. We'll take a break. We'll tell you about the new pitcher coming into this one after this.
NCN Sports is sponsored by Certified Piedmontese Beef, Real Nebraska Beef, Region 4 Behavioral Health System, affordable, accessible, quality mental health and substance abuse services, and by Schaefer's. We're more than just TVs and appliances.
It's in our passion. It's in our achievements. It's in our architecture and our heritage. It's in the way we innovate and discover. It's how we engage and inspire. It's time to experience it for yourself. Peru State College. See what's in it for you.
Good afternoon, everyone. We're here at the grill, waiting for the flip.
He has a great hot lie here on the grill. Looks like he is going with the tongs here, Jim. A great choice.
Timing is everything.
Nailed it!
A flip for the ages.
What a flip. Perfect marks. I'd take a slice out of that one.
Certified Piedmontese, real Nebraska beef. So tender and dripping in flavor, you won't believe a steak this good can be shipped right to your front door.
At Faith Regional Physician Services OBGYN, listening to you to create an individualized healthcare plan that fits your needs and preferences is our top priority. Whether you need an annual checkup, specialized gynecology care, or pregnancy management, we partner with you to provide expert care using advanced practices, technology, and techniques. Faith Regional Physician Services OBGYN. Care on your terms is the Faith difference.
Tyler Dunham is the new pitcher in the ball game for the Omaha Black Sox. He comes in with a 3.33 ERA in 4 1/3 innings of work. He's allowed 4 runs, 2 of them earned. He struck out 3, has not walked anybody. Cardiff Smith Day is done after 3 innings, allowing 4 runs, all of them earned on 6 hits. Walked 3, hit 1 batter, didn't strike anybody out.
Dunham with a little bit of a sidearm look here, enters the game throwing from the stretch, and you had Patterson going, had a good jump. Foul ball at the plate, though. Going to bring him back to first.
You know, we'll see if the Black Sox take note of that here, that Filth Ballers trying to keep piling on these runs. They lead at 4-2 here in the top of the 4th. Check back over to first. Back safely is Patterson.
Yeah, and I like the game that Jonathan Francisco, head coach of the Filth Ballers, is playing right now. You got a 2-run lead here. Now's the time, middle of the game. You can get aggressive if you like.
The 1-2. That one off the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Our 4th inning brought to you by John Henry's. Our family serving yours. Dunham, the 2-2. Patterson takes a couple of steps towards second on a pitch in the dirt, but he gets back over to first, and the count full.
Heck of a job by Aaron Archer. A squared, getting out of his stance, scooping that one up, not allowing the runner to advance to second base.
Full count pitch. Ripped into right field. That's a base hit. In front of it is Fuller, but heading for third around second is Cy Patterson. Runners on the corners, nobody out here for the Omaha Filth Ballers.
And that's how big that last stop was I just mentioned from Archer, especially with the bobble here, bringing the ball up. That would have been an easy score from second base. Instead, you stop that ball, the ball in the dirt on the previous pitch, keep it in front. You saved yourself a run here. You can still get out of this jam, especially with the help of maybe a couple strikeouts here if Dunham can help himself out.
And the Filth Ballers now back to the top of the order. Good opportunity to run away with this one if you can't get those strikeouts.
Yeah, no outs, runners in the corners. You got to feel good right now if you're a Filth Ballers fan.
Julius Cortez to the plate for the 3rd time. 0 for 1 with a walk and a stolen base. As well as a ground out, and he turns away from one here, and home plate umpire saying that made contact with his backside. Bases loaded after another hit by pitch.
And Cortez plays his college ball out there for Hastings College, part of the Tri-Cities. Another guy that stood tough in the box and takes a hit by pitch to get himself on board.
So now the bases are loaded with nobody out. And the Filth Ballers up 4-2. Brendan Hillis already a double today as he pops this one up short right field. Fuller is there to make the catch. And we've got trouble as the ball gets through the infield on the opposite side. 2 runs have scored. Here comes a third. Hillis is on his way to third, and he's there.
A little bit of a snowball fight there, and that kind of felt like a backbreaker, didn't it, for the Black Sox? Right away, it didn't look like a can of corn to me, an easy out. It looked like it was in that Bermuda Triangle there out in right field, and that's exactly what it was. Then a little bit of an overthrow there to the infield. You see the thrown bat there. And he ends up at third base after the frustrated throw of the bat.
3 runs score after the error. And it's now a 7-2 ball game. I think a snowball effect was the perfect way to describe that, Andy Klassen, as this one's hit again into this tough space. And again, it drops between batters. Coming in to score from third is Hillis, and it's 8-2.
My goodness. And, after the sidewinder, the sidearm thrower, Tyler Dunham, I mean, he works back-to-back pop-ups, and they were weak to the right side. Doesn't get paid off for it, though, actually gets hurt by it, as have a little bit of a runaround here for the Filth Ballers. Everybody's in to score.
So it's now an 8-2 ball game. Barnett with the RBI after 3 driven in by Brendan Hillis, all unearned, and it brings up Anthony Nino. Nino already with an RBI today.
Got him.
And now caught in a rundown heading for second base. And the ball escapes the infield. Burnett is there, and it's go down as a stolen base.
I feel so bad right now for Dunham. I mean, like I just said, he works 2 pop-ups, lazy pop-ups to the right side, picks a guy off, and there's still 0 outs to this inning. It's just a tough couple of breaks there for the young man on the bump for the Black Sox.
It's unfortunate because he has thrown the ball well.
He really has, and that's what I'm getting at. You know, he's generating pop-ups, trying to use his field. And, I mean, these are tough spots, don't get me wrong. But usually when you can get those pop-ups like that with not much on them, you expect an out to be recorded. And that just hasn't been the case here for the Black Sox.
8 runs on 9 hits, no errors for the Filth Ballers. 2 runs, a trio of hits, and an error for the Black Sox. 4 runs across here in the 4th. Still just nobody out.
Yeah, this game's kind of blown wide open here, 8-2. And Filth Ballers taking full advantage. You know, give them some credit of some, opportunistic hits.
1-0 inside. So 2 balls, no strikes, still nobody out. The pitch. This one hit hard into left field. This is carrying to the track, to the wall. It is off the wall and short of the fence. It's going to score another one, and it's 9-2 Filth Ballers. Everything going right for the men in green.
Boy, Nino gave that one a ride. He was sitting on that high heat, and boy, did he get it and rip it, like you said, all the way to the wall.
It becomes a 2 RBI night for Anthony Nino, and it's a 9-2 lead for the Filth Ballers.
My goodness, just a fantastic piece of hitting there. Got the pitch he was looking for, knew exactly what to do with it.
So still nobody out here in the top of the 4th.
And Rivers takes the plate once again with runners in scoring position.
He's reached base each of his first 2 times, as many of these batters have. He's the second batter in a row to reach base. His first prior trips to the plate, Nino was able to get on base for a 3rd time with an RBI double. Matt Rivers would love to follow suit here as he takes a ball upstairs. 1-0 the count. This one ripped down the third base line, and that's a fair ball into the corner. Around third is Nino. Digging for second is Rivers. He'll get there with a stand-up double. Back-to-back RBI doubles, and it's 10-2.
And you just said it a moment ago, everything going the way of the Filth Ballers, and that theme continues. My goodness, did Rivers turn on that one for that stand-up double RBI.
A massive inning, as now we have seen 6 runs come across here for the Filth Ballers. Stay tuned after our game for our post-game, brought to you by USAVE Pharmacy, dedicated to the well-being of all of our customers. We'll have a player interview. We'll talk with a coach. Lots of good stuff for Andy Klassen and I to discuss when this one concludes.
Yes, we will. We always do have a good time down there with the post-game interviews.
You're always the star of the show.
No. That's the players and coaches.
2-0 the count now to Cooper McCoy. as it looks like mathematically we will have the Filth Ballers bat around here in the fourth. The 2-0 pitch is just enough for a strike, 2-1.
Excellent job by Dunham working the inside corner, got in on the hands. Not much McCoy could have done with that, even if he would have pulled the trigger.
2-1. That one just inside, and it's 3 balls and a strike.
Archer tried to frame that one up for him.
The 3-1. In the dirt, but staying put at second base is Rivers, but it's ball 4 anyway, so runners on first and second.
Yeah, and McCoy, even though he took that strike, inside on his hands, he stayed extremely disciplined, was able to work another walk here. And this is unbelievable. 0 outs on this rally of an inning for the Filth Ballers.
There's a lot happening here and a lot going right for the Filth Ballers. Obviously, the pitching has not been necessarily bad for the Black Sox either. There's been poor defense. This one hit high in the air to right field. That one ate up a lot of the plate. Moving to his right is Fuller. He's able to make the catch, tagging from second to third is Rivers, and he's there.
Boy, had to cover a lot of ground out there in right field and also fight off the sun. That was another kind of a 50-50 tough type of play out there in right field.
Hard hit baseball as well.
It really was.
So it brings up Peyton Larson. He is 0 for 2, a rare 0 for 2 in the order right now for the Black Sox, or excuse me, the Filth Ballers. First pitch to him is outside for a ball.
Mentioned it earlier. Larson, a Concordia Bulldog, bringing his talents to the Corn Belt League over the summer.
1-0 the count. Check back to first, and again back safely over at first base is Cooper McCoy.
I like that check back right there from Dunham. Trying to keep that double play ball in play, not allowing a stolen base.
The 1-0. Runner heads down for second, and check that over running at first base. We had a pinch runner there, and that looks like that was
Elsbecker.
Yeah, Elsbecker, who comes in pinch running for the second time tonight, and he steals a base.
And you see why. He's got some wheels to him. Excellent jump.
A 2-0 grounded towards third. The run will score as the Black Sox take the easy out at first base on the ground out of a fielder's choice, but it's now a 11-2 ball game.
Man, Novotny just has a hose over there at third base. Zips that one across the field. And we're going to have another visit to the mound from head coach Vern Hasty.
Well, it looks like we do have somebody warming in the bullpen for the Black Sox. Tyler Dunham probably not going to be too happy with this performance here tonight as he's going to come on out.
This really has been a long inning. As you mentioned, it wasn't all his fault, and you really can't pin it on the defense either. So you got to tip your cap to the Filth Ballers, taking advantage of a couple well-placed or well-sprayed balls into the outfield. Maybe a couple overthrows, and it doesn't take long for a team like the Filth Ballers to get on top.
All right, we'll step aside, tell you about the new pitcher coming up after this.
From the moment you realized you needed ongoing care, to the long conversations with loved ones, and the scare of having to leave the home you've lived in for so many years, to the moment you realized you didn't have to meeting your caregiver for the first time and those initial fears turning into new friendships, to the moment you felt more supported than you have in a really long time.
Thank you.
We've been here for you, just around the corner. Columbus Community Hospital.
NCN Sports is brought to you by Currency. If your business needs help financing big-ticket items, visit gocurrency.com for details. And by Custom Sports. Represent your school and look good doing it with Custom Sports.
At Farmers Pride, we are proud to work with agricultural producers, commercial businesses, and homeowners. As a farm supply and grain marketing cooperative, we are proud to serve the region's needs of grain, feed, agronomy, energy, and transportation for over 80 years. We help the farmers who feed the world by providing the people, products, and programs to deliver solutions for our customers' success. Farmers Pride, in the field, on your farm, in your community.
Robert Archer is the new pitcher in the ballgame in the place of Tyler Dunham. Robert Archer coming on for the first time this season, so no stats so far this summer. And he comes in a spot here where obviously everything's gone south for the Black Sox, but good opportunity for somebody who hasn't pitched a ton to get in and get some work.
You're exactly right. You know, the pressure's kind of off right now. You're in there to get your pitches, work on your fundamentals, and right away pops up the batter.
And this will end the inning if it is secured, and it is by Dane Mediger. A massive inning. 7 runs are put up as that one is popped up to end the inning. But we've got Andy Klassen, our weekly trivia.
Yes, we do. Presented by the Nebraska Brewing Company, world class in every glass. And here we go. Here's a question for you, Jake. The University of Nebraska, you're an alum, won its first intercollegiate baseball game in 1889. Whom did they defeat? There's your choices. Was it KU, Kansas, Creighton, who they have a long-standing rivalry with, or was it Doane University, a team that we cover baseball, football, and some volleyball and basketball?
I feel like Doane being in there could be a hint. Could be a little bit of a trick question.
Okay.
I do feel like Creighton and Kansas have been universities for longer.
Right.
Something to think about.
Yeah, so you're kind of working with it. You're going to chew on it here. We'll go to break, and we'll have the answer when we come back.
All righty. Sounds good to me. 11-2 the score as we head to the bottom of the fourth. Look at that bucket hat. That's a beautiful bucket hat, is it not?
It is on a sunny, hot day like today. And you know what? You can use that out on the lake as well, can't you? Keep the sun off your face and shoulders, back, neck. There you go.
All right, so let's take a look at our trivia question. The University of Nebraska won its first intercollegiate baseball game in 1889. Who did they defeat? I am going to go with Kansas.
All right, let's have the answer here.
It is Doane. See, it was a trick question. Doane is a team that we cover regularly here. I should have stuck with my gut.
Yep, that was your first instinct, Mr. Bartecki. You should have stuck with it. The Doane Tigers. They actually fell to the Huskers back in 1889, their first collegiate baseball game.
0-1 the count to Dylan Novotny as Quinn Zaborski now has a healthy lead, and he goes up 0-2 as he has now a healthy advantage in the count. Looking for strikeout number 5. If you're just joining us, a 7-run fourth inning put up by the Filth Ballers as they have been red hot as of late, and it's now 1-2.
Yeah, really opened this one up, posting that 7 spot there in the top half of the fourth inning. And if I'm the Black Sox, I'm not trying to score 7 runs here, but I am trying to get some offense going here, maybe get one back. I think that's the message head coach Vern Hastie's probably telling those boys in the dugout.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Novotny, who is 1 for 1 with a RBI single, but this time he swings and misses for strike 3.
Yeah, and you got to feel like, and you alluded to it, Jake, kind of takes the pressure off Quinn Zaborski just a little bit now that he's got a lot more wiggle room up there on the mound. He can afford himself to make a pitch, or miss a pitch off the plate here and there with this much bigger lead.
Dominic DeMauro comes to the plate. He grounded out to third. Unassisted 5U ground out that ended the first, and he takes the ball 1-0. Boy, Andy, still 0-0 in that Louder-Skeens matchup in the College World Series. Did you expect anything different?
You're exactly right, and you're exactly right. There's another college baseball game happening right now in the great city of Omaha, the home of college baseball.
Yeah, 2-0 the count. Obviously, that's a huge event for everybody in town. So, I did a story on this covering it the past week. I mean, helps a lot of those small businesses from around the country, too. Not only in Omaha.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I think I saw a baseball hat company that was launched in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Comes down every year for 2 weeks. And
3-0 is outside, and that's ball four. So Zaborski issues his second walk of the ball game. Stay tuned after the game for all of our post game, including our top plays. They are brought to you in part by Currency.
Luke Saxton walks to the plate here. Young man plays his ball at Nebraska Wesleyan.
And over up the road in Lincoln. Saxton looking to get on base after a strikeout looking. He became the second strikeout victim. Zaborski back in the second inning, and he takes the ball 1-0.
Going to call timeout, and he looks right back to his head coach. I don't think he had the call. That's a good job by Luke Saxton, stepping out and getting the call right.
And just get your bearings. The 1-0, inside 2-0. So, Andy, in being around the College World Series, there's obviously a lot of great food. There's obviously everyone at tailgates, obviously right not by the stadium, but around that area. I saw some people grilling up some certified Piedmontese beef, told them I was from News Channel Nebraska, told them all the good things you need to know about it. You want to know what a couple of those good things are?
Yes, I do.
They are lean, tender, and delicious. You can order them online. They have a lot of protein, and they can ship right to your doorstep, which I think is one of the most interesting parts of certified Piedmontese beef is that you can get that kind of a great steak delivered to your house.
Usually you have to give something to get something. If it's going to be lean, that means it's not as, tender. But that's not the case with this Piedmontese breed of cattle that gets its heritage from Italy, now brought over to Nebraska. And we have a number of herds across the state and Midwest of this line of beef, Piedmontese, and we have it right here in Lincoln.
Yeah, runner goes heading down for second base. DeMauro is there as the throw is not in time and missed by the shortstop. The other thing about certified Piedmontese beef, and this goes beyond them, but Nebraska beef specifically, Midwest beef just tastes better. I really think it does.
You're not going to get an argument from me. And also, they're pretty much all grass-fed beef, and I wasn't a believer in that until we started working with Piedmontese, and I got to talk to some of those guys and had them on a podcast, and now I am a believer.
Speaking of that, how is the podcast going? As we've got a minute here to chat a little bit.
Oh, fantastic! You're talking about we had the Common Folk podcast. So that's more of a lifestyle deal, and we had the fellows over from Piedmontese really dive into it and tell us about that breed of cattle. It's just a fascinating conversation, and they've been really big across the United States with health nuts. A lot of those CrossFit guys, due to it being so lean, as you mentioned, really get into that Piedmontese beef.
Stolen base there for DeMauro, as that is his first of the season. Saxton chops one fouled on the third base line. 3-2.
This is an opportunity here for Yeager to, push someone across, not necessarily get back into this one, but get a run back. Not roll over and die, but and also help yourself out in your numbers. Get an RBI. You got a guy on second base here.
0-1 the count. A look to second by Zaborski. Zaborski misses outside, count even at 1.
Good discipline right there. That cutter, like I said, that fastball, it really goes hard across the plate. Yeager did a nice job laying off of it.
No action in the Filth Ballers bullpen just yet as Zaborski delivers a nasty slider, and it's 1-2.
Boy, that's just filthy.
There is, however, some action in the bullpen of the Omaha Black Sox to our left. Trevor Storer loosening up. 3.41 ERA. The 1-2, another fastball, and he sets down Luke Saxton for the second time tonight on strikes, and there's 2 away.
And just look at the location, low and away. He knew that Yeager had to protect. Just a perfectly executed pitch that time from your boy Zabrowski, the former Beatrice Orangeman, as you mentioned at the top of the broadcast.
He is indeed. Jackson Yeager to the plate. No official at bat for him, and a throwback down to second base to Morrow, getting a little jumpy, but he's back in time. Yeager walked and was stranded to end the inning back in the second. He was part of that double play.
That's a little bit of Brendan Hillis sending a message, too, firing that down to second base, saying, you better not get lackadaisical on the base path with me behind the plate.
The 0-1 fouled off just to the right of us here up in the broadcast booth, and it's 0-2. 11-2 the score after a big 7-run fourth inning put up by the Filth Ballers. The 0-2 just misses, and it's 1-2. Ball and 2 strikes. We're in the bottom of the fourth. Kick and deal from Zabrowski. Swing and a miss.
Pitch.
Strike 3, and that ends the inning. We will head to the top of the fifth. 3 strikeouts in the inning for Zabrowski. He's protecting an 11-2 lead. This is Corn Belt League Baseball on NCN.
The Heart and Vascular team at Faith Regional Cardiovascular Institute has spent the last 22 years focused on providing the highest level of heart care possible. With over 24,000 patients seen in the last 2 years alone, we know cardiac care by heart. Today, we offer the most advanced practices and technology to patients in 11 local communities, ensuring easier access to cardiology services. With specialists focusing on heart failure, vascular diseases, thoracic surgery, abnormal heart rhythms, and general cardiology, you can count on our heart experts to collaborate to provide you with the best care possible. Faith Regional Cardiovascular Institute, keeping a pulse on the hearts of Nebraska for over 2 decades, is the Faith difference.
Welcome back to J.J. Isaacson Field as we welcome into the broadcast booth now Mr. Wes King. He is head coach of the Crop Dusters and the Bombers. Wes, thanks for coming on. Welcome to the broadcast booth.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
So, your impressions just generally of this Corn Belt League. I mean, obviously, it's a great opportunity for some of these Nebraska kids and Midwest kids and all around the country, for that matter, to get some summer baseball experience.
Oh yeah, I think it's unbelievable. It's really put an impression on me to watch all the stuff that goes into it and how much they do to help these kids.
Rugerman swings and misses, and that is a quick strikeout there as Archer gets his first strikeout of the ballgame. That's the first strikeout of the night for the Black Sox at all. Wes, so you're coaching the Bombers and the Crop Dusters, you said. So your impressions of those two teams, how they've grown so far this year?
Oh, the Bombers are a young team. They're all from Wayne State, so they're all starting to gel and mesh. And it's impressive to watch them put together games when they start playing. The Crop Dusters on paper are unreal. They're a little bit slow getting started right now, but when they catch on, it's going to be fun to watch.
And our fifth inning with Wes King is brought to you in part by Husker Rehab, treating the cause of your pain, not just the symptoms. The 0-1, this one fouled off right side, and it's 0-2. So, Wes, I know you're from Texas. You've come up to Nebraska. Your impressions sort of Omaha, of Nebraska. I mean, a lot of deer hunting in both states.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Omaha is definitely the mecca of baseball, though. There's more baseball fields here than I've seen in a long time.
0-2, swing and a miss, strike 3. So back-to-back strikeouts now for Archer. as the Black Sox didn't have any of those in the first couple of innings here, and Robert Archer has 2 right now. So I know you had your boys in town, your kids in town. They went up to a couple of CWS games. What was your guys' kind of impression of that?
Oh, it's unreal. I mean, it's every baseball coach's dream to get there and watch that, and to get there, it was fun. Got to watch TCU, so that was even better.
There you go. Are you a TCU fan?
I'm a Texas fan.
You're a Texas fan. They were close.
They are, but TCU's from Texas, so that counts just as good.
There you go. And not too much of a rivalry there. There is a little bit, but not a huge one. So the Corn Belt League, you've got a couple of big events coming up. You've got July 3rd as the Corn Belt League has the matchup with the Military War Dogs, and then July 9th you've got the Corn Belt League's Corn Fest with the All-Star Game. First off, we'll start with the July 3rd event. You guys have, it's a shout out to patriotism, a shout out to the troops as well.
Right, and that's amazing. That's something that I thought when I signed on that was a really cool thing to do, and I tried to talk as many kids into doing it as we could.
Fly out to center field ends the inning. Couple of strikeouts for Robert Archer. We'll continue our conversation with Coach King after this on NCN.
What does farming mean to you? For most, it's hard work, dedication, and livelihood. Unfortunately, that also comes with risk. At Nebraska Crop Insurance in Beatrice, they know the nonstop dedication involved to keep your family protected from that risk and ensure their livelihood. Not only do they know everything about the coverage you need, they're also farmers themselves. So protect what means the most to you with the agent who knows what it means to be a farmer. Nebraska Crop Insurance, 615 Dorsey Street in Beatrice.
At Elkhorn Valley Bank, we believe in local. It's something we live by. It's something we're proud of. It's helping our neighbors grow like they've helped us, supporting families, investing in lives, and creating prosperity. Local means making decisions that grow and improve surrounding communities we call home. Investing in our nonprofits and giving back. Elkhorn Valley Bank and Trust, great for you, great for your community.
Eleven to 2 is our score as we get ready for the bottom of the 5th inning. Continuing our conversation for Wes King. You know, Coach, we brought you on the ball game here. It was the quickest inning or half inning we've seen so far tonight. So a little bit more what it means to have this event coming up on July 3rd. Again, the Corn Belt League versus the Military War Dogs, 7 p.m. here at Seymour Smith.
Yeah, that's pretty cool to honor all those people who gave us all the freedom to keep doing this.
So, being a coach in this league, obviously it's a lot about development for the players, but I can tell you're a baseball guy. I mean, what have you kind of learned and take away that you could use back in your coaching?
Probably a little bit more patience. I get pretty fired up, but being around these older kids and watching them mess up and not press has helped me kind of back off a little bit.
Yeah. 1 ball, 1 strike. As pinch hitter in the ball game here for the Black Sox. We're getting to that point. Caben Steenbach moves down in the order. First pitch to him is in there for a strike, and it's 0-2. Zaborski with the 0-2. This one lined towards shortstop, but there's a man there. Hillis makes the catch for out number 1. So, Coach, back in Texas, obviously baseball, big deal down there as well. How does it compare to Nebraska in terms of baseball?
It's actually a good question.
I mean, at the end of the day, baseball is still baseball,
baseball's baseball, but in Texas, it's a year-round thing now, which I don't always agree with, but
sure,
it's a little different style, a lot more fast-paced, a lot more offense involved. But at the end, baseball's still baseball.
Beautiful bunt laid down there by Nick DiMonte. So you saw that bunt. What did he do so right?
Oh, that was a great bunt. He got around early, got squared up.
Yeah. So I want to talk a little bit more about what you said about baseball being kind of a year-round deal. There's a lot of pushback on that by coaches in high school and especially in Little League. Is that mostly because of wear and tear on a pitcher's arm?
Kids need to play other sports. The more you play, the more athletic you become, every sport helps every other sport. And that's a big thing in Texas. We tell kids to play football, play basketball. Every kid pretty much runs track. I mean, it helps in everything.
The other thing that I know has been a big part of the Corn Belt League has been the strike zone facility. I mean, I went over there and checked it out a couple of weeks ago. What a facility for kids to use during the summer.
Oh, that's amazing. Just everything there, the technology, the weight room, all the free time to go in and out and use anything you need. That's phenomenal for these kids that are home for the summer.
Now, do you go over there a lot with them, or do you kind of let them do their own thing?
We had a big break this week. We didn't get to play much, so we had batting practice yesterday, but I meet them there if they need me to, or if they need me for anything, I'll meet them over there and help them out with something.
And what if kids kind of come to you for help with? I mean, obviously, with this being a lot of new team, new players, new teams, and a fairly short season, how much is it building relationships with players? How easy has that been?
Oh, it's been pretty easy. These kids are extremely personable, and once they get to know you and we get to know them, once you've been in the dugout, they're all the same.
Yeah. So what kind of things have you seen them come to you for a lot so far?
Most of it's just when they're at the plate, if they're pulling out, if pulling their head, stuff like that. It hasn't been anything crazy. And it's just the small things that they need somebody to see so they can fix it on their own.
All righty, Coach. Well, we will let you get back to enjoying some baseball tonight. Let's see what happens in the end of this College World Series game. How about that? No score in extra innings.
But come on, LSU. All right, man, I appreciate it.
He's on the Tigers. That's Coach Wes King. Andy Klassen will rejoin the broadcast as we head to the 6th on NCN.
Women have a 1 in 8 chance for developing breast cancer. Early detection makes a difference. Beatrice Community Hospital's Imaging Center can help with the latest technology, from screening with 3D mammography, breast MRI, breast ultrasound, and breast biopsy. All services conveniently located in the BCH's Imaging Center. Schedule your screening today. Incredible care, incredibly close.
NCN Sports is sponsored by Husker Rehab, treating the cause of the pain, not just the symptoms. Columbus Motor Company, where you'll find one low price, plain and simple, always. And by Claybaugh Pharmacy, your locally owned hometown pharmacy.
Let your next adventure take flight in Sarpy County, Nebraska for some high-flying fun. Legendary family adventures. Out-of-this-world shopping. Star-studded evenings. And award-winning experiences. Our flights are never canceled. Stay, play, and plan your getaway at GoSarpy.com.
$11-2 is our score as we get ready for the top of the 6th inning. Our thanks to Wes King, head coach of the Bombers, and the Crop Dusters for joining the broadcast as Andy Klassen comes back in. Your takeaways from some of that conversation?
Yeah, I really like what he had to say about multiple sport athletes, and he mentioned it, and you did too. There's a lot of pushback right now talking about let kids enjoy all sports at all levels, especially the youngsters, the little guys. Don't bombard them with just football or just baseball or basketball. And I think you're seeing a lot of injuries, especially you're talking about the arms of pitchers, but also in basketball when those kids are playing year-round, basically. It puts a lot of stress on those ligaments in their legs, and you're starting to see a lot of blown-out knees at the collegiate level, and you didn't see that, in years past. And I think a lot of it has to do with, these summer leagues and AAU leagues where there's just no time for recovery, and you're using the exact same muscles and ligaments and everything else year-round. Puts a lot of stress on the body.
I also sort of think, and this kind of takes away from the sport aspect, but I sort of feel when you play more sports, at least if it was me, you get more exposure to what you like.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
You figure out what you like. It might be golf. It might be baseball. It might be basketball. It might be soccer.
Well, and you get to enjoy all the different sports just a little bit more. And you got to take a realistic look at it, too. And Charles Barkley mentioned it during the finals. Look, there's only 400 professional NBA players in the world. And even, football, I think 2% of college football players make it to the next level. So, you got to kind of think of that as
Odds
well.
are stacked against you.
Yeah, so enjoy sports while you can play them.
Yeah.
All sports.
2-0 to Carson Burnett, who's had a nice game so far, 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs. And he takes a strike there, 3-1. Stick around after the game for our post-game interview. Those brought to you by Sarpy County Tourism. Lots to do in Sarpy County this day and age, as that's ball 4.
Just saw a Sarpy County Tourism commercial during that last half-inning break, and I was glad to see they showed you some of those lakes in Sarpy County that are stocked and maintained by the Nebraska Game and Parks. Just a lot of different things to do, and as it mentioned, not too far from home.
You done much fishing so far this year, my friend?
Not as much as I would like, but I mean, I could go out 3 days a week and that would still be my answer. You know what I mean? But no, I over the last week got out a couple times, had a lot of fun. Hooked into some largemouth bass, so yeah, it was a good day on the water.
Was that on the boat?
Yes, we were on a little pontoon boat. Pontini's made out in Elm Creek, Nebraska.
There you go. A little shout out to the folks in Elm Creek. Maybe I'll try and do a little bit of that this weekend if I've got the time.
Yeah, why not?
2-0 the count to Anthony Nino, who has scored twice and driven in 2 so far the ball game today. 2-0. High in the air to center field. Long run in for DeMonte. Will he get there in time? He will.
Yes, he will. And boy, he was really pulled off to the left side there. Like you said, had to make quite a jog back to get it. Does make the play, though. And that batter before, we were kind of talking about multi-sport athletes and everything else, but Carson Burnett did a really nice job working the count and drawing the walk. He's the young man over there at first base.
1-0 the count. To start that at bat, got behind 1-2, came back and was able to draw the walk, and the count starts off 1-0 here to Matt Rivers.
Boy, and Rivers, he's put a charge into the ball a couple of occasions here tonight.
He has 2 for 2 days
Wow.
on the walk, and he gives a charge to another one down the third base line. And the DMAC product pulls up with his 3rd hit of the night. Runners on 1st and 2nd here in the 6th.
Carson Burnett being disciplined on the base path there. He might have thought twice about taking 3rd, but I think he would have been gunned down. I think DeMauro was kind of selling it that he bobbled the ball there or couldn't find it. I think he was trying to lure him in to trying to steal 3rd.
The pitch, first one, is in there for a strike to Cooper McCoy. McCoy so far today, 1 for 1 with a single and a couple of walks. And he's behind 0-2 here. 6th inning brought to you in part by Starter Heyman Jewelers. Stop in to their Lincoln or Grand Island locations and help your jewelry dreams come true.
You know, where you're having that conversation with Coach King that past inning, Robert Archer came in and really utilized that off-speed pitch.
Sure did.
And actually recorded the first 2 strikeouts of the game for the Black Sox.
We were talking about that on the air.
It's amazing.
1-2 hit towards the left side. Nice glove over at shortstop by Steenbach. The throw well behind, but bases loaded. Nice effort there to keep that from possibly escaping into center field for a base hit.
Yeah, a heck of a job with the glove. Just couldn't get enough on it to get it over to first base. They still like to see that backhand. Well done.
So that brings up Corey Bantam. Bantam today, 1 for 3. Pop out to foul territory, a fly out to right, and a 2 RBI double. Was 6 for his last 8 coming into the ball game tonight. Bantam takes a strike, and he's behind 0-1. This one poked down the right field line. That's a fair ball. 1 run is in. Another will score, and it's a 2 RBI double. How about the night for Corey Bantam? 2 RBI doubles.
Couldn't have drawn it up much better. He was kind of kicking himself taking that first pitch. It was a little in on him, but it was where he wanted it. Boy, did he square up the second time around and just drilled it down the first baseline. As you mentioned, good for another stand-up double and a 2 RBI at bat.
4 RBIs on the night now for Bantam as the first pitch is in there for a strike to Peyton Larson.
And he really had to sit on that one because there's not as much velocity on Robert Archer's fastball as maybe a couple of the previous pitchers. So Corey really had to adjust to that, sit on it, then churn.
That one in there for a strike, 0-2. The 0-2. This one hit hard to center field. Fuller back on it, turns his back, makes the catch, but tagging up from third is Elsbeck, and he is in there and moving over to third base safely.
Oh, no, I
Well,
thought he was
what do we
out.
have here?
Steenbach did a heck of a job cutting him there. The shortstop, he's walking to the dugout saying, no, Blue. I gunned him, and umpire's going to talk about it, but I think that's the correct call.
I think they did. Initially the call was safe. Now it's out. The inning ends, but 3 more go up on the board. It's a 13-2 ball game.
Claybaugh Pharmacy provides you with all the pharmacy options a person would need. As a full-service pharmacy, we give you all the traditional options, but also have the modern technology to maintain your profiles. Maybe you're busy. Head to claybaughpharmacy.com. Click on online refills to get your prescriptions filled from the convenience of your home. Claybaugh Pharmacy and Gift Shop, your hometown family-owned pharmacy.
Whether you play on a field, or play on a court, or are running to greatness, during the game and after the game, during the wins and during the losses, Agri City Insurance has you covered. Here to help you ensure what matters most. Agri City Insurance.
$14 runs on 14 hits, no errors for the Filth Ballers. 2 runs on 4 hits, and an error is all that's been allowed by Quinn Zaborski to the Black Sox. As, Andy, we could come up to possibly the final inning of the ball game here as it's a 12-run lead. A nice night for the Filth Ballers.
Yeah, Filth Ballers really got their offense going early, scored those 2 runs in the first inning, and then didn't really look back, exploded in the fourth for those 7 runs. And you couldn't really point to one thing, could you? We mentioned it. It wasn't necessarily bad pitching. It wasn't necessarily bad fielding, but a couple of errors here, a couple of conducive spots as they were able to spray some hits out there, and they took full advantage. Good for the Filth Ballers.
First pitch to Archer, Aaron Archer that is a swing and a miss for a strike, 0-1. So no balls, 1 strike. Archer so far today 0 for 1 with a strikeout. The 0-1, swing and a miss, and it's 0-2.
Archer has done a really nice job, though, behind the plate, that catcher position, keeping everything in front. He's done a really nice job fielding-wise here tonight.
Tonight's game brought to you in part by Columbus Community Hospital. No balls, 2 strikes. Excuse me, 1 ball, 2 strikes, as that one is just outside. Andy, we're in the top of the 11th at Charles Schwab Field, and there is still no score.
At the Chuck. Yeah, we knew both pitching staffs were going to be well rested and a couple aces squaring off, and we've seen that over there at the Chuck tonight.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Now the count to Archer. The 2-2. Check swing, and did he go? He did not, says the first base umpire, and it's full.
That's how I saw it. Good discipline there at the plate from Aaron Archer. Here comes the payoff pitch.
Zaborski, the 3-2, popped up on the infield. Over to his left, Hillis has it, and the Filth Ballers 2 outs away.
Brendan Hillis out of Iowa Community College doing a really nice job calling everyone off, leaving no question to it that was his ball. And he also made a really nice play the past inning or so, charging, scooping it up, and being very decisive, getting the ball back to first base for the out.
So it brings up Dylan Novotny, 1 for 2. He's driven in one of the 2 runs on the scoreboard for the Black Sox, and this one struck out as his other at-bat in the 4th. He singled in a run. Want to know the count to him. 1-0. Fastball by him, and it's 1-1.
My goodness, still seeing the velocity there from number 28 up on the mound.
Bottom of the 6th inning here. Ball and a strike to Novotny. Bases empty with 1 gone. And Zaborski hits his 5th batter of the ball game. My goodness.
I mean, this is just amazing. And he was in control of that entire at-bat, zipping a couple of fastballs in there for strikes.
He didn't control the last 3 or 4 innings. Now they're going to say, did that get him on the bat?
Oh, it kind of looks that way, doesn't it?
See here.
Fortunate there for Zabrowski.
Well, so it stays 1-2, but you're right, fortunate, because I don't think he would have wanted to hit another batter. The 1-2 popped up on the infield again. Brendan Hillis going to get this one as well. 1 to go for the Filth Ballers. Our player of the game interview coming up after this one here on NCN. Our player of the game brought to you in part by Nebraska Orthopedic Center, your healing destination. Dominic DeMauro comes in. DeMauro 0 for 1 with a ground out and a walk. First pitch is outside, 1-0.
I believe the young man does have a stolen base, though, when he got himself an opportunity when he did get on.
1-0. Outside, 2-0. Infield plays deep, outfield shallow. There's a count now 2-1 to DeMauro.
Man, just right down the pipe. After Quinn Zaborski kind of settled down after that rough first inning, able to straighten things out here.
The 2-1. That one is just inside, 3 balls and a strike. It's been all Filth Ballers since this one began, the 3-1. High fastball in there for a strike. It's 3-2.
Well executed pitch. Once again, Zaborski's making the throws when he needs to.
Zaborski again on 3-2, just outside for ball 4. So a couple of pop-ups to shortstop, now a walk. This one's not quite over yet.
That one was just right off the plate. Once again, I'm a little surprised there that DeMauro didn't try to protect.
Took all the way, gets on base. For the second time in as many at-bats does Dominic DeMauro, both via 4 balls. First pitch coming here to Luke Saxton, who's 0 for 2 on strikeouts. Fouls one off the plate, 0-1.
Ah, and he got the fastball he was looking for. Couldn't straighten it out. Got a piece of it.
No balls, 1 strike. 2 outs and a 12-run lead. Nice cushion for the Filth Ballers. The 0-1. Outside, 1-1.
Boy, that fastball, once again, Jake, I love how it works across the plate for those right-handed batters. Oh, that was close. That was close to another hit batter.
Would have been number 5. Could have been close to being number 6.
Right.
You saw the batter before. This one hit towards third. This is playable for Nino. The throw to second is there for the force out, and that will put a bow on this one as the Filth Ballers win their 3rd in a row to improve to 6-4. They win it 14-2.
And Patterson with a really nice stretch there at second base, securing the out. He made a couple of plays in the field here tonight. Fitting young man plays a role in closing this one out on the field.
All right, we'll have our post-game show coming up next. 14-2, the final. Andy Classen down on the field after this.
At Unity Eye Centers in Norfolk, their focus is on you. As the leading provider of optometry with advanced diagnostics and equipment, they can ensure your eye health is their top priority. A quick glance at their frame area will show you that you can have style as well as function, with plenty of frames to choose from. Their mission is to educate patients and provide cutting-edge technology and exceptional service with personalized care. Come to Unity Eye Centers in Norfolk to clearly see the difference. Why? Because your eyes deserve it.
Other companies have the revolving door. Every time we come into Schaefer's, it's always the same people. And the big thing to me is they know you by name. They know who you are, which makes a person like myself feel just warm and welcome here. And that's what's great about Schaefer's.
Schaefer's has the essential Whirlpool appliances you need, from refrigerators and air fry ranges to laundry pairs to keep your clothes clean and sanitized at everyday low prices. At Schaefer's, we are more than just TVs and appliances.
NCN Sports is sponsored by Certified Piedmontese Beef, Real Nebraska Beef, Region 4 Behavioral Health System, affordable, accessible, quality mental health and substance abuse services, and by Schaefer's. We're more than just TVs and appliances.
At Nebraska Orthopedic Center, they provide comprehensive orthopedic health care. Their physicians are highly skilled in all areas of orthopedic and sports medicine, including spine surgery, foot and ankle, hand and upper extremities, fracture care, and total joint replacement. Their expertise includes the medical management of injuries through physical and rehabilitative methods or surgical intervention. To schedule an appointment or to learn more about Nebraska Orthopedic Center and their family of 25 physicians, go online to nebraskaortho.com. That's nebraskaortho.com. Nebraska Orthopedic Center is your healing destination.
The first time I ever took prescription opioids is when I got my wisdom teeth taken out. I think I was 16 years old. I must have gotten a 30-day script. I took them all in 3 days. I was stealing from people, buying substances on the street. I look back at that time with a lot of shame. That's not who I am. Opioid use disorder is not a moral failing.
Whether we're talking commercial or residential plumbing, Lamel Plumbing is the place you call. Lamel provides 24-hour emergency service as well. Call them if you get in a tight spot. And as for their retail items, well, you gotta check out some of their faucets, some of their kitchen items, and some of their bathroom items like their Onyx showers. And hey, say you got a digging job, you call Lamel Plumbing for that too. They've added a full-time crew for you, doing backhoe, trenching, and sewer work. Take that digging job off your list and have Lamel do it for you. That's Lamel Plumbing in Beatrice, now at their new location on North 7th Street in Beatrice.
The postgame show on NCN is brought to you by You Save Pharmacy, dedicated to the well-being of all our customers.
J.J. Isaacson Field is the site where the Omaha Filth Ballers have just picked up win number 6, 14-2 this evening over the Black Sox. 14 runs, 14 hits, no errors for the Filth Ballers. 2 runs, 4 hits, 1 error for the Black Sox. Andy Klassen down on the field with a couple of big names from tonight's ball game. Andy, take it away.
And thank you, Jake. I'm joined down on the field with winning head coach Jonathan Francisco. Impressive performance from your squad here tonight. What are your initial thoughts, takeaways?
Oh, thank you very much, first and foremost. You know, we hit the ball today very well. And we just came off, I believe, a 2-game slide. So it was good to get the boys swinging again. So hopefully we can carry that into our next game.
Yeah, your offense started early, got those 2 runs in the first inning. What does that do for your starting pitcher, Zaborski? Because I thought Quinn, after a little, got touched up there in the first, but he really put it into gear and kind of cruised from then on out.
I think it built up his confidence. I mean, Quinn was a guy, he kind of had to step up. We had a few injuries at the beginning of the season with our pitching staff and even our fielders too. So when he steps up, he really throws well.
What did you like from Quinn tonight? I just love that cutter that he throws because it goes across the plate. That's a lot for a right-handed hitter to handle.
Yeah, that cutter's big for him. You know, his cutter, his curveball, when everything's on with Quinn, he's pretty much untouchable. So, like you said, it was a little shaky in the first inning, but I think he bounced back and did a good job.
And you mentioned the offense earlier. I want to go back to that. You posted 2 runs in the first, so you got off to a good start. What led to that explosion in the 4th inning? You posted 7 runs, really kind of blew this one wide open.
I think we just got excited finally when we started swinging the bat. Like I said, we came off that 2-game slide and we weren't hitting too well. So finally, once they started hitting, I think they didn't want to stop.
And what can you tell me about tonight's player of the game, Corey Bantam? Big night at the plate, 2 for 4, 2 stand-up doubles, 4 RBIs.
Yeah, Corey's coming off an injury, so tonight I think he felt real good coming back. You know, 2 real big hits. So hopefully we can keep it going.
And what has to continue for the Filth Ballers to continue these winning ways?
Or hitting definitely. If we can keep this hitting going, we're going to go a long way.
Coach Francisco, thank you for your time.
Thank you very much.
All right, let's bring in our player of the game, Corey Bantam. Just kind of ran down his numbers there. 2 for 4, 4 RBIs, also 2 doubles with those 2 hits. What was your approach, or what was working for you at the plate tonight?
I was just seeing fastball really well, so I'm just sitting fastball, and one of my doubles was on a curveball and a two-strike count. You know, just shortened up and stayed on it and hit it backside. Just seeing it really well.
Even when you are seeing it well, is that a big part of your hitting? Like you see the curveball, so you're not going to try and pull it. You're just going to take it the way the ball's going.
Yeah, I mean, in baseball it's tough, so you just got to hit it where the ball's pitched.
And what does it do for an offense when you guys start fast? You got those 2 runs in the first inning, then I thought you guys were hitting with a lot of confidence from then on out.
Yeah, those 2 runs in the first, that just boosts everyone's confidence, and especially the pitcher. He gets early lead, and he just shoved all night.
Yeah, I'm glad you went there, because I was going to ask about Zaborski, because I thought you saw a change in his approach where he was seeing, okay, I got some support from my offense, and man, he really started rocking that fastball.
Yeah, just like when I was a pitcher and my hitters gave me a lead, it was just calmed the nerves a lot, and it's way easier to settle in.
It looked like you guys were also having a lot of fun out on the diamond tonight. I asked Coach Francisco, I'm going to ask you, what has to continue for the Filth Ballers to continue winning?
Obviously the hitting, but I mean, pitching was big. You know, we put up a lot of runs, but in those close games, pitching is going to be huge.
Corey, thank you for time. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
All right, let's send it back up to you, Jake, to wrap this one up from the booth.
Thank you very much, Andy. You heard there from head coach Jonathan Francisco as well as Corey Bantam. So 14 runs on 14 hits for the Filth Ballers, 2 runs, 4 hits, an error for the Black Sox. Let's take a look at how this all went down tonight in our NCN Sports Now top plays. Once again, 5 and 4 were the Filth Ballers coming into this one, just 1 and 5, and on a 3-game losing streak for the Omaha Black Sox. Gorgeous night, 87 degrees, as the just a great night for baseball. Our top plays brought to you in part by Currency. We start early here back in the top of the first. Filth Ballers were up 1-0. Here's a single and a score. Another run comes in, getting after the starter for the Black Sox early. 2-0 is the score here at this point. Another shot through the left side of the infield. Stop sign put up by Vern Hasty. This gets the Black Sox on the scoreboard 2-1 after a couple of hit-by pitches brought around a couple of runs. We head now to the 3rd inning. Here's an RBI double down to left field. And this is a 2 RBI double, scoring a couple there. Corey Bantam did that twice tonight. This is the first one. He heads off to second base there. Said they were having a lot of fun. Looks like he was having some fun out there as well. We head to the 4th inning. Wind and deal. This one is popped up, put down in what looks like it's going to be no man's land, and it is. Batter didn't understand why he popped it up so badly. Ended up dropping between where nobody could get it. Couple of runs come across a score. Moving all the way over to 3rd on the play. 3 runs, and it's a bases clearing base hit with an error. And now a ground rule double to the left side. This one got underneath the fence in left field. 2 runs score there, and the Filth Ballers continue to pour it on, and now we head to the 6th inning. This is kind of where we knew things were probably beyond out of hands. Here's a 2 RBI double right here down the first base line. That's a base hit. Couple more runs score. That put it up to 13-2. Corey Bantam, we said he did it twice tonight, and that is his final, and he gets 2 RBIs there. Filth Ballers win it 14-2 in 6 innings. Also winners tonight, LSU just pulled off a win with a walk-off at Charles Schwab Field. But 14-2, the big final here as the Filth Ballers continue their nice season in the Corn Belt League. We will be back next week. Big week of baseball here on NCN. We've obviously got games on July 3rd. We've got our regular Thursday content as well. 14-2, the final for Andy Klassen. I'm Jake Bartecki from the J.J. Isaacson Field at Seymour Smith Park for NCN.